Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a Zone 4, and I thought I would do a March plant room tour. And it is the middle of March, and daylight savings, I can't believe it. I feel that, you know, you wait so long for this, and then you wait for spring, which is just right around the corner. I mean, what, a week away about? And in 2 months we can, at least in my zone, I can start planting my cold weather crops and flowers, maybe a little sooner than that, fingers crossed. But yeah, I can't wait. Tomorrow the temps are supposed to be in the high 30s with some snow, but other than that, we've been in the high 50s. We even saw close to 70 a few days. So that's, I mean, it is kind of March weather where it's up, down all the time, but I just want to show you I have some friends hanging around. Lots. So if you are new to my channel, my plant room is in my garage, and which I'm finding I'm having a little bit of a hard time controlling the temp and the moisture level in here. I used to grow upstairs in one of my rooms, which was a lot easier, and I had a lot more light too. This is the only window I have in my garage. So I have lots of grow lights. This heater up here is for greenhouses, so it was an investment, but I figure I'm transitioning my garage into a plant room, so I didn't want heaters sitting around for a fire hazard. I wanted everything up to code. It's just safe. I have, you know, my sister and her 2 kids who live with me, along with my dog, and yes, he ranks up there along with everyone else. So I have a lot to consider. So I thought it was worth it. So humidity in here right now is, I would say, 70%. So I've been running a dehumidifier, which has upped the heat in here. I have my plant room now set at 65, and it's registering 75, which is making everything grow so fast. But I need that dehumidifier running because I have mold happening. I have algae on my plants. Things are just not drying up as quick. So yeah. There's been some problems, but you can definitely see things are loving that humidity for sure. I have, this right here will be going outside when I can safely plant outdoors. Mid-May is usually it. Tahitian bridal veil, I will have to harden this off, but it won't take too long since it's a shade plant, and it will be going in the shade. Lots of house plants that I'll probably just leave these in here. They're not taking up any room. I like Wandering Jew, so I have lots of cuttings in these. This Coleus is going to go. All of my cuttings that I took about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, have rooted. I will show you that. I did it a little bit differently, and I'm very impressed, to tell you the truth. I might do it like, we'll see. I still have to pot them up. But yeah, lots of houseplants. I'm not going to lie, so don't be too upset with me, but I don't like succulents. I never have liked succulents. They're not my favorite, especially outside. I don't mind. I feel they're fine, but indoors they get leggy. And this used to be up to here, and it's stretched, and it shouldn't, because this is a T5 fluorescent light bulb, super hot, super bright. It should be loving it, and my niece can have that back. These also came from a leggy succulent that I'm trying to get to root, which I think they have. She can have them back. Again, I'm not in love with succulents. I am liking the string bananas here, though. I had propagated this, and you can see I have a little friend hanging on there too. But I do like this one. But again, we'll see how it looks later on when it's not in so much light. But these are all cuttings of Wandering Jew. I forgot to water, so that's why it looks like that. But at some point, I'll take as many cuttings as possible, and they're going to be composted. Because I'm going to take all of the Coleus cuttings, pot them up, and then I think I'm just going to put them on this entire counter here. All of these houseplants will go inside. A lot of these were my sister's that I'm nursing back to health. They just looked really tough. This is a Calathea. It has taken forever to get to that point. I would say it's been over a month. I'm like, but I like to baby stuff. That is me. For now. I'm going to say for now. But the reason why I have a lot of houseplants out here is, well, it's because they're loving it out here and growing really good. But also, I have a dog, so I need to make sure that a lot of these are pet safe, which they are. But again, did I say they're just loving it out here? So they've put on a tremendous amount of growth. The ones I have indoors, it's just sitting there and just doing nothing. But that's okay, because things are getting a little too much in here. This is Diamond Frost Euphorbia, which I brought in to overwinter. Loving it. I will have to harden that off before I bring it back outside. And I'm going to be getting rid of all of these. I'm just, again, going to take what I want for cuttings. I think I need to stop. I think I have issues with that. I love to propagate. Again, if you're new to my channel, I liked lots of free plants. And I mean, these house plants here are looking great. Like I said, the ones inside, well, I have no humidity indoors. They're loving this greenhouse feeling out here and all of that light. So down here, all my containers that I had my previous cuttings in that I took in September and October, they're composted. That was so hard. I hate throwing away live plants. If they're dead, I'm totally okay with it, but when they still look good and they were putting on new growth where I had cut them, but oh well. I have a tray here. Not everything has rooted, so I'm leaving it. The Coleus in there is sharing a room with some Salvias and some geraniums, and they're taking their sweet time to root. Down here in these bags, I have 3 different types of Caladiums that I always try to get to overwinter for me. I had dug them up last year before a freeze, and I've never had luck. So fingers crossed that they work out. I have Miss Muffet, Carolyn Wharton, and White Queen. And I'm hoping they work out so I don't have to decide if I want to buy any more, because I just love Caladiums. But the one thing, I don't like growing them inside, starting them early. They get leggy. I can safely plant out Caladiums about first week in June to mid-June. And you know what? You would think that that's a little late, but it's not. They like that warmer weather, and they look beautiful. I had potted a few up just to see if they will work, so I'll keep you updated on that. I had some footage of seed sowing, and I lost it. So this is my first batch of annual seeds that I've done. Sweet peas, and so I have 2 of the same kind here, 2 of the same kind here, and just 1. This one is all of the seeds that I saved last year, Edward of York, and they are doing awesome. These 2, I only have 1, so not impressed. Miss Wilmot. This is Beaujolais, and very impressed with that one. So these are also, sweet peas can take it a little bit colder. I'm going to see what they can take for like the lowest temp. And I might try getting them hardened off a little bit early also. It's a lot of work with hardening off, but I need to start making a lot more room. Because I will be doing a video soon on my first batch of seeds that I'm going to sow. And I have about 30 varieties, at least 30 varieties. And so I want a tray of each. I don't know where I'm going to go with them. And I also winter sowed a lot of stuff too. African daisy, first year for doing that. Germination is and here 20 apple blossom, Snapdragon. They're so cute. Very good germination here too. They're so small, I think it's hard to see. And then I have Barwalia back here. Excellent germination. More African daisy. And then way in the back, and I've done this just to bump everything up so it's closer to the grow light, but way in the back is Cerinthe. And the only reason why I I seeded these indoors is because I had winter sowed some, and I soaked too many of the seeds, so I had some left over, so I didn't feel like getting rid of them. So I decided to start some indoors too, and they grow really quick. Awesome germination. So if you're doing Cerinthe, you will have fun with that. And in here, I have 1 lavender that came up. I don't even know if you can see it. It might be right there. So I'm hoping that's lavender, because I have a plant that I thought was clematis, and it's not. And is it red-veined sorrel? I forget. A viewer had told me the name of it, and I looked at it, and yeah. So I've had no luck with my clematis, so we will see if my winter sowing will work. these two little containers is where I have the Caladiums. And verbena in the back. I'm not going to show you because I have really bad luck with verbena, which I have also winter sowed. We'll see what works out better. I have a heat mat going, so the Caladiums definitely like it warm. So fingers crossed they come up, because that's one less thing that I have to think about. I'm sitting on the ground here, so give me a chance to stand up. And it's a little crowded because I have so many pots, watering cans, cords, fans. I've been having them going constantly for air circulation and for, you know, nice sturdy plants, because there's definitely no wind in here. And these are all of my Coleus Cuttings, and there's at least 70 in each tray. I would say highly successful there, and you can see because the roots are coming through. I just have them out because I have to water them. I will be potting those up at some point. And lots of soil. This was expensive soil. I will not do that again. Only bad thing is it's amazing. Well, I'm going to say potting mix because there's no soil in it. So it is amazing potting mix. I love the drainage, but it's too pricey. These are ones I get at my big box store. I'm not sponsored by anyone. And honestly, these are so nice because I think it was $14 for each bundle, and it's like really packed in there. It will last me a long time. I'm thinking, I even had some last year that I got. I could even put some in my pots outside. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'll probably get 2 or 3 more, but for $14 a piece, like I said, they will last me a long time. And so highly impressed because it, besides the seeds, and I recycle all my containers, so there's no expense there, but the potting mixes are usually the expensive part, along with I've been getting some slow release fertilizer and also more grow lights. So, and a stand. I'm going to try and show you without showing you the mess because it's been crazy. So over here, these are the pansies or violas I planted up. They're looking really good. I'm hoping that I can kind of harden these off a little at a time and then eventually get them planted, because they can take, I want to say 28, 29, I don't know for sure, but they can take a little cooler temps too. Isn't this so cute? I just love her, and it smells so good. That's lemon balm. Look how adorable that is. I'm going to have to pot that up at some point. And lemongrass, Gara in here. And I have it, these little dividers, because you can tell different variety. But over here, this should be the same variety, but different companies. And I've had better success with this one than that one. And then back here, oregano. I also love to run my hands over that. And in order to bump up the tray so it's closer to the lights, because they are sharing, you know, a shelf with the foxgloves, they're growing like crazy. I just have some of my seed trays for the time being. I'm going to need these soon. Over here, hopefully you can see this cord doesn't stretch too far up, so yeah, this is about as far as it's going to go at the moment. Foxgloves grow like a weed. And I did have a viewer who asked me if I was a little concerned about them looking a little leggy or sad looking before I can get them planted out, which is middle of May. Yes, I'm very concerned about some of this. And these are started, I want to say, mid-January. I don't remember. But they grow so fast. I was not expecting this. And it's not helping me either that my grow room is so warm. But they look really good. So for the time being, I'm going to enjoy their beauty. And maybe I can get a few last, because I have a lot of plans for these perennials in my new bed that I created last year, if you're familiar with my videos. And I'm hoping they work, because that will help with a little bit of the cost. And the fact is, knowing that I grew these from seed is amazing. So it's so proud. But Jacob's Ladder also grows really fast. So what I do is I keep a journal to let me know what to start at what time, what not to start, because I hate when you start seeds too soon and then they just I don't want to pot them up because that means more soil, more time, more room. So I was kind of hoping they can stay in these containers. These can. These are dwarf goat's beard. Aren't they cute? They're super cute. This is a Hearty Geranium Vision Light Pink. More Jacob's Ladder, White Pearl. Again, I love that texture. I have high hopes for it, but you'll see. And Japanese Anemone back here, if you can see it. So it's a little slow grower too. So very happy. Again, these are I lost one, but that's okay. I still have 5. So germination on some of these perennials were kind of what I expected. Like not many of the goat's beard came up, or the anemones. At Jacob's Ladder, well, I think all of them came up. Same with the foxgloves. I think I have over 70 foxgloves because I have even more here, which these look even more amazing. They all have a slow release fertilizer in them. I have not been giving them a liquid feed yet. I'm just kind of watching the foliage to let me know if it's needed. But I'm just afraid if I do give it to them, they're going to grow even that much quicker. Over here I have Wandering Jew. These are just cuttings, and I keep kind of turning it, and it's loving its life over here. It's massive. I have one up here that was cuttings too, and it's a little more scraggly, but it's only getting light from the window. These are the geraniums that I took the cuttings from. I'm keeping these for the time being. They're still looking okay. The foliage is looking good. And like I said, I'm not having the best luck with those taking, but I'm a little impatient right now. So that could just be me. Valerian, Anthos Valerian. This is the one where it's going to be huge. And I am very nervous that this plant is just not going to look the best when I get it outside. It's got a new leaf coming up here. Nice and sturdy. Some of them are very nice and sturdy. A little too. You can see I have roots coming out now. These will probably need to be potted up, which isn't, kind of squishing leaves here, which isn't horrible because it's not many of them. Because I didn't have great germination of this either, but the ones that did, yeah, they grow very strongly. I had to stake this because this was a little floppy, so hopefully it can get its roots in there and make a sturdy plant. If not, I think I have enough. I'm a little nervous about how strong they are. Aggressive, I should say. And then here's another issue that I'm having is I think I'm going to get rid of the begonias, at least these. They don't look the best. And honestly, I don't really feel like, sorry, that's a mess over there. I don't really feel like putting these in containers and babying them, because I like to use the best looking plants for my containers. Because once I plant them, I kind of want to forget about them. And then they look tough. Yes, they are blooming. I feel bad. The leaves are curled and they're just, and I don't have luck pinching begonias. I've done it a number of times and they've never bushed out for me. So I need to make more room. These coleus here, I did take some cuttings, but honestly, the plants still look really good. I'm not seeing any stress whatsoever. I'm not seeing roots come through, so I might just leave this. I think they'll be okay with being potted up. I'm like, okay. Feeling if it was dry. But this coleus back here, the top looks great, but the legs are bare. So, not looking the best. This coleus here is really nice too, nice and full. I have to think about it, but again, the one in back, the legs are, that one's not too bad. But little looking. These begonias look pretty good. They're nice and bushy, and they're a white one. I might keep those, but I'm saying lots of buts here. I'm just thinking about all the annual flower seeds that I'm going to be starting, and I just need a lot of room for it. And these are flowering, which, and that one in back is too, but they look so nice. The salvias, I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Yes, they're blooming, but the plants are just suffering. The foliage is turning yellow. I've been fertilizing, and I've missed this last fertilizer though, so I need to get on the ball. But they just don't look the best. Even the one that I potted up and have a slow release, it's just getting so huge. I think I'm going to cut my losses there, but this looks amazing. It took a long time for it to really get established. I mean, it's got quite the root system, but to start putting up new growth, but boy, has it really grown in the last month. I think two will be good for me. Purple Heart, I think. Plectranthus, I love Plectranthus. I love the smell of it. It's just growing indoors is proven to be a little difficult. These are all cuttings, so anything that I'm showing you that's plants, they're cuttings from plants I bought last year or the year before. And this begonia, I forgot to water it. That's why it's a little yellow. I do like that one. Kind of looks like cherry blossoms, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, and the Plectranthus takes a long time to grow in it from cuttings, and cuttings are proven to be very difficult with that. So there might be some plants I have to get at my greenhouse, but that's okay. I mean, I love going to a greenhouse. There's still just that awe and, I don't know, inspiration you get when you go in there. More perennials on the bottom. So again, these are all going to be, not all, but some of them are going to be part of my new garden beds. Fingers crossed. Not these, because there's only two, so I'll figure out a spot. Coral Bells, Heuchera, Melting Fire. So, which they're a little more ruffled, a little more crimson than the Palace Purple. Some are growing really good. Others are taking their sweet time, and I'm okay with that. And I think I'm going to kind of rearrange them so the thugs are in one and the, you know, less than thugs are in the others, because they're doing pretty good. Ladies Mantle, I absolutely love Ladies Mantle Alchemilla mollis. It's a must-have in all of my gardens, shade and sun. Looking really good here. Some are a little slow, but that's good. You can see I have some algae on top of the soil. I'm hoping the dehumidifier will help with that. I know it'll probably mean more watering on my part, but I think all in all, it'll just be healthier for my plants. I have Sightseeing Veronica. It's just a mixture. We'll see how it does for me back here. And it's growing pretty strong too. I have lots of Columbines. I potted up more than what I needed. And I do have friends and family who like flowers. They just like more annuals for containers than perennials. So we'll see. I'm definitely not going to be finding a home for all of these in my gardens, but a good amount. And I have 3 different kinds of Columbine too. So I had gone over all of the varieties in my February video, but I think I'm going to list all the varieties in the description. That way I don't bore you with all the names. Rosemary. This is my niece's rosemary. She had done all the seeding for it. I pricked them out. She's not into that. But her mom likes rosemary, so this is hers. These 2 little stragglers are mine. They're just taking a bit. And then that's my pansies that I potted up. And my one video that how to prick out flowers or seedlings. Yep, more Columbines. They're a little slower, so that's okay. But I think they're looking pretty good. Very happy with a lot of this. Like I said, I need to figure out where I'm going to put all of my annuals. Seeds isn't so, I'm trying to get up here. Seeds isn't so bad because, oh, I have to do this one too. Because they don't take up a lot of room when I first start, but once they all get their own little homes, then that's when they're going to be taking up lots of room. So I had the one begonia that was looking really tough. This is the white one that I decided to just take cuttings of it before I got rid of it. That way I could, you know, salvage a little bit. You can see there's a little stress on some, but I'll see. This one tends to, I don't know, root a little bit easier than the other one. More Wandering Jew. They got leggy because I didn't have them under grow lights. So I pinched them and I'm just seeing some growth now. So we'll see what happens there. Plectranthus in the back. Again, they're very touchy. Those 2 look really good. And then there's some that just don't look so good. I'll come back to the peppermint. More foxglove. I mean, they look amazing. in love with the foliage. I do have 4 different kinds, so they're not all the same kind. So there is that. That was kind of why I went so crazy with it. But also, I do have a hard time throwing living plants. I've taken the time to start the seeds, to water them, fertilize, pot them up. I just have a hard time getting rid of them. So who knows? Maybe I will find a spot for all of them. And peppermint. Isn't this crazy? I just had this one plant that I put in here. That's how I do all of my seedlings, just one in a container. Look at this. I'm like, this is why you plant mints in containers. Because even that one little tiny plant ended up doing this in this short amount of time. And I had pinched the top here too because it was just getting a little bit too much. And look at, that's crazy. So they have their own tray here. I'm definitely not going to need all these peppermints, but yeah, and they smell so good. And the reason why I'm going to be planting this in its own container, I'm definitely not going to plant it in the ground, and you know, I have enough aggressive perennials, but I shouldn't just say aggressive, it's just, they're almost like weeds. But I'm going to use the peppermint as kind of a bug deterrent, and also like a squirrel and mouse deterrent. We'll see how that works. I want to try and go a little bit more organic. I am organic in certain stuff when it comes to my vegetables. When it comes to my flowers, I kind of use what I have to, but I really want to take a different approach this year and just kind of go with more say your, what am I trying to say? Your essential oils. So I thought, hey, why not just use peppermint and try that? I was also thinking about using garlic. Granted, I didn't grow garlic, but that is something I might think about doing at some point. But yeah, just making sprays that way. It might not be the best as other stuff, but if I can get it to work a little bit, I think that'd be awesome. And cut down on the cost, right? So yeah, so that, and I'm just going to back up here. I have, and like I said, I'm running out of room, but I did get a new shelf. And I'm trying to show you without showing you the mess I have, because I'm saving boxes. That's how I give plants away to family and friends. And so I just start accumulating them, which I will be running out of space. Like I said, I'm trying to get past here. Keeping water jugs. I'm still winter sowing. I have this fan here for the time being, and then this shelf I just got and from Home Depot. And the reason why it's the same as the other ones is just silver metal. It was an easy put together. I can determine where I want the shelves. There's one more shelf for this, but that would make it too short. But what I loved about this is it has wheels. So I'm thinking when it comes to the hardening off process, how nice will it be to put, what, like 4 trays on each shelf and just wheel it out my garage and then wheel it back in so I can go, so I'm not carrying a tray out each time. I was so happy when I found that. I'm going to go around, my sweat fleece shirt is there. Oops, and it fell. I ended up going with this light here because I couldn't find any grow lights for the time being. I needed something. I was running out of room. It's a little bright. I don't know how I feel about this. This is where I have pansies and violas, but I definitely don't like the purple. I hate that. I like the more natural light, but I only have the one. It's pretty intense, and it is a grow light. So I'm just trying that out. Like I said, I couldn't find anyone, and I just needed to get something. But yeah, so I have the 2 trays there. And what else? So it's a bit of a mess. Like I said, it's just, this is kind of real life. And still super excited. I can't wait. And next week, I shouldn't say next week, in a few days, I'm going to be doing a video on seed sowing. So stay tuned for that. But hopefully you enjoyed this tour, and bye for now.